Okay, so may I know why you are looking for the change?
Yeah, basically, I have learned a lot in my current project, and I have been involved in current transformation of monolithic to microservices projects, and so it is like we have done more or less most of the things, but right now I have been put to something like the work which I am doing is kind of repetitive work, and also I am looking for change because I want to grow both professionally and personally, and particularly I am more interested in the roles kind of I get some new challenges and not like kind of repetitive kind of work. So that is the major reason for my change I'm looking for.
Okay, can you explain me the whole process you follow in your day-to-day basis and what is your role? So in detail, can you explain all this?
Yeah, sure. In my current role as a software engineer, I primarily focus on developing and maintaining microservices using Java, Spring Boot, and related technologies. So, first of all, initially we do the requirement gathering. So that is done by BA and project managers. So they work together with the client to gather the document requirements. Now after that, those requirements are discussed in detail with the team lead and managers and development team also during a requirement grooming session. So after that, um, like we are following the agile methodology. So we are working in 2 weeks sprint, right? So we do the sprint planning, and the requirements are further broken down to user stories, and each stories are like prioritized like high, medium, or low kind of, and then those stories are assigned to the different developers. So as per their skill set that can be assigned, and so basically that managers and team leads they decide that which has to be assigned to which developer, and after that we develop the microservices as per the whatever the requirement is there, and we also do the unit testing in that, and whatever the database is required we use that, and after developing we also make sure that uh, the code is having more than 90% of code coverage. Then only we are allowed to push that code, and then we push that to Git once that is done. And also we have a testing phase after that. So in dev environments, so testers test it, and if any bugs are reported during this phase, then they logged. They log it, and a separate ticket is generated. So those tickets are again assigned to the developers, and after that successful testing, it is deployed to UAT, so environment. So post approval of that UAT, again it goes to the production environment. So that is how the whole flow. And after deployment, also we actively monitor the services in the production environment as per the agreement whatever they have. And yeah, so in addition to development, I also actively participate in daily stand-ups and grooming sessions. So Yeah, so if anyone has any issues, so they can tell that in daily stand-up
Okay,
calls.
okay, that's great. Okay, so which version of Java you are currently using?
I'm using Java 8.
Okay, and what is the latest version of Java available right now in the market?
Uh, I think Java 22. Yeah, so that is what last I heard of.
Okay, so why do you think your organization is still using Java 8 only?
Yeah, actually, their projects are a bit older, and when Java 8 came, then it was a big change because all the functional thing and all was introduced in Java 8. So they adopted that one, but now they have so much of, uh, I mean, so much of huge application is there that it is kind of costly to change the Java version, but they are planning to do that. But yeah, as of now, they are
Hmm.
with Java 8.
Okay, so did functional interface existed before Java 8?
Functional interface, yeah, we can say, but we were not using this term as functional interface. So, like, as we know, like, functional interface is like any interface which has only one abstract method. So we can say that as a functional interface now. So earlier also before Java 8, we had some of the interfaces like which could function as a functional interface, and they had only one abstract methods. Yeah, so this is used to exist before also.
Okay, and what were those interfaces?
Um, Runnable, I think Runnable was one, and then comparator. So Runnable has only one method run, and a comparator has also compare, that is also only one abstract method. So how it is different now after Java 8? Now, like we have annotation at the rate of functional interface that we can use on top of the interface, and we can mention. So that is there, and also the lambda expression is there. So earlier lambda expression was not there. Now we have to write very, I mean, less code, or boilerplate codes can be removed now. These differences are there now.
Okay, can you share your screen and show me the difference how it was before Java 8, the functional interface, and how it is now?
You mean, I mean, since now we are using lambda expression, so now I have to use lambda expression and without lambda expression, right?
Yes.
So now, so before Java 8, for example, let's say we so we had runnable, right? And runnable had only one run method, right? So earlier we had like public interface runnable, right? And it has void run. So before Java 8, like if we have to uh, access, I mean, if we have to override this run method, so we had like runnable runnable equal to new runnable. Yeah, then so we have override, then public void run. So here sys out, and then this is before Java 8 or something like that. And after that, uh, we can do new thread, and then we can use that object runnable, and then dot start. So before Java 8, this is how we could have done. Now we can do it in a single line. So if we have to do it in after Java 8, so after Java 8, so in that case we can just say runnable runnable equal to, so sorry, so now this is very obvious that this has only one method. So in Lambda, we don't have to write this method name. Instead, we can just simply use this bracket, and even if nothing is there, that also can be skipped. But yeah, so like we can just say sys out. We can just say sys out, and after Java 8, and again this we can say new thread. Yeah, so yeah, this is how now we can achieve this.
Okay, good. Okay, what are the functional interfaces got introduced in Java 8?
Predicate is there, then function is there, consumer is there, by consumer is there, supplier is there, um, like by predicate is there. Uh, so yeah, so these are the functional interfaces are there.
Okay, so what is predicate?
A predicate is a functional interface uh, in Java 8. So it has one abstract method called test, and it accepts the, and this method takes an input type of t and returns a boolean either true or false. And predicate interface provides like two default methods to combine multiple predicates. So yeah, so it just gives the, I mean, boolean result.
Can you explain any real-time example what you have worked on with predicate?
So suppose we are working on a banking application that processes a list of transactions. So if you want to identify all transactions that are greater than some certain amount, then we have to flag them for manual review. So in that case, we can just simply use a predicate. So we can use predicate to filter transactions above that certain amount. That is where we can use it.
Okay. Okay. Can you copy the string from the chat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have copied it here.
Okay, so you have this string, for example, so you have to write a code to check whether the given string can be converted to palindrome or not. You understood?
Yeah, so I have to basically rearrange this to check whether this can be converted to palindrome or not.
Yes.
Yeah, so for example, this can be rearranged to like this. So this is like, yes,
Yeah. So in this case, you have to just print yes, this can be converted to palindrome. But if any string is there which cannot be converted to palindrome, you have to simply print it cannot be converted to palindrome. Got it?
yeah. So suppose if we have anything like string str equal to um, a b a a a b c d. So this will not be palindrome. So I have to just say this cannot be converted to palindrome, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what we can do? So uh, so we only have this small case string, right?
Yeah, for now assume only we have a small case string. That's fine.
Okay. So um, first of all, what we can do? Uh, we can first of all count the occurrence of each character. Then, if it is even, then can be converted to palindrome, else cannot be converted. So, yeah, so what we can do is first of all, we can count the occurrences of it. So, for that, we can use map. So, let's use map. Map of we have to split this to character first, and then we have to use in map to check its count. So what we can do is character, then integer, map of character integer, char count map equal to new has map. New has map. Then we can do a for loop, enhance for loop basically. So it will be having, will accept character, then str2 char array, str2 char array, and uh, we can just add in this in a single. line put and then C comma char count map. So we have instead of writing into multiple lines, we can use this method directly, get or default. So it will basically, if the I mean there is no entry, in that case it will simply add 1 to that. So plus 1. Okay. And if any entry is there, so in that case it will get that item. It will get that count and then add 1. And if there is nothing there, in that case it will simply put 0 to this map. So we have this. Now what we can do, we can write a for loop again to just check if it is all are even, all are even, that we have to check. So we can do this map again dot values. So it will just simply fetch values, and each value means it will be the integer type. So int, let's say count, and then we can simply check if uh, if count and then its remainder is not equal to 0, so percent 2, so to divide by 2 not equal to 0. In that case, so let me initialize here. Before that, int odd count equal to 0. So here we can say odd count plus plus. Okay, so it will simply count how many odds are there, and if this odd count is okay, so we can have one more scenario, like then if uh, odd count is less than 1, in that case, like we can say return uh, palindrome possible, else we can just return palindrome not possible. So something like this we can write it. Okay, sorry, one more scenario. Actually, it will be less than equal to 1. Why? Because we can also have one string which will be odd. So that will be allowed because if we have something like so suppose if we have something like A and then B and then C. So this is also a valid palindrome, right? So the odd count can be one at most. So we can write, yeah, this something like this. We can write it.
So you know set, right?
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, so in which scenario you should go for set compared to suppose you have other ways of storing the data, right? So why you go for set? So can you explain with kind of real time example?
Yes, set is a part of a collection framework and it does not allow duplicates in that. So duplicates elements are not allowed. So whenever we have the scenario like we are not bothering about the saving of duplicate items and we want to save only unique items, so in that case we should go for set. So another thing is that whatever elements we insert inside that they are without any order. So if our scenario is like we don't want to have it ordered and also suppose no duplicates we want, so we can go for set.
So set is always unordered. What if you want to save it in ordered way?
Yeah, if we want to save it in ordered way, in that case we can use tree set. Yeah,
So what is the difference between a string builder and a string buffer?
whenever we try to use a string, so we have basically three types. One is a string, another one is a string builder, and one is a string buffer. So string is immutable, so we cannot update it. Immutable means so whenever we are going to uh, update the string, so in that case it is going to create a uh, I mean occupy a new memory in the string pool, string constant pool. And string builder and string buffer both are mutable, so we can update the memory space wherever we have the string defined. And major difference between this string builder and buffer is string builder is not thread safe and string buffer is thread safe. Okay, so this is the main reason, and also this string is also thread safe actually. So since this is string builder is not thread safe, so multiple threads can access it, right? So it is faster in the nature. So whenever I mean we come to performance, so it is faster, but string buffer is slower due to locking on it. Okay, so yeah, so this is what is the main difference in these two. So normally string buffer we use for multi-threaded environments. So where string modification need to be synchronized, and string builder for single threaded application with frequent string updates like building dynamic queries we use it. So yeah, so this is the difference between these two.
Okay, I have shared one code in the chat. Can you copy that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So can you tell me the output of it?
okay. So we have main, we have primitive type modify, we are passing this button. Okay, okay. uh, I think its output will be 10.
Okay, are you sure?
uh, yeah, I'm sure, because in Java we cannot change the value of the primitive type like this.
Okay.
So for primitive type, the so changes outside the method do not affect the original value. Whatever we are doing inside this method, it will remain the in the memory. There will be new object. I mean, a new object will be created of number, and with I mean that primitive type will be there, and that value will be 20. So these two will be different. So the number will have the value will 10.
Okay, so you know singleton class.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so what are the steps to create the singleton class?
So first of all, we will have to create the private private constructor of the class, right? So that is one, and then uh, we will have the instance variable as a static. So that is the another step, and then we can provide a public static uh, method to return the single instance of a class. So that method will create the instance if it is not like already existing. And then also suppose if we want to uh, use it in the multi-threaded environment, so we can do the uh, like double check locking. So yeah, so we can follow these steps.
Okay, can you quickly write?
Yeah, so what we can do is let's say we have a class ABC, and we have a private uh, private uh, ABC, that will be the constructor of it. Okay, and then we can have the instance of it, so that will be public and static ABC, and then let's say get instance. So this will be not method, then public static ABC get instance and then we can do the check here. Sorry, this will be instance only. Then we have to check if the instance is null. Instance equal to null. In that case only we will create the instance of this singleton class. New singleton, and after this we can just return the instance. Return instance. So this is how we can do the lazy one.
How about double checked locking, as you said? So what changes you need to do?
For that, once we checked if the instance is null, then we also have to use a synchronized keyword, and then we need to recheck if the instance has not been created, because we are checking into the multi-threaded environment. So what we can do is here we can further like we can use synchronized synchronized of this class abc dot class. Okay, and we will again recheck if instance is null. Okay, so now sorry, this was new. So now we can copy this here. Okay, so first of all we will check if the instance is null, and for the multi-thread environment we will check if this class is synchronized. I mean that, so if any thread is already inside this, so it will stop right here. So it will wait till the thread, I mean that instance is getting created. So again it will come here, it will check if instance is null, and then if it's still the instance is null, in that case the new object of the class will be created. So yeah, so this is how we do the I mean double check locking.
Still, we can clone it and we can break this, right?
Yeah, we can clone it, but we can prevent that by overriding the clone method.
Okay, how you do that?
That we can do like we can override the clone method. So like public object clone and some I think clone not supported exception, some exception we throw here, throws clone not not supported exception, and we can throw some exception, throw new, and we can say cloning not allowed. So something like that we can do.
Okay, what are the different layers in Spring Boot?
Yeah, we have I think basically three layers are there. So one is controller layer, and then we have service layer, and then we have repository layer. So any request comes, so it goes through the controller, and then further from controller we call the service layer, where all the business logic is written, and then from the service layer we further call the repository layer. So in repository we usually connect with the database, and any query or something is there, so those things will be there. So yeah.
Can you write a simple controller? Assume we have a employee controller. So can you write the class?
Yeah, so let me clear this out. So let's say we have a employee class, so we can say public class employee controller, and then uh, so first of all on top of this we will have various imports, and then uh, we
Yeah, that's okay.
okay, so we will have here at the rate of rest controller, sorry, rest controller, so R will be capital, and then whenever we make a call, so there will be the mapping, request mapping will be there, and here like in the URL or link whatever we are giving, so let's say employees, and then we will have the uh, various CRUD operations. So for example, let's say we have a get all employees, so we will have something like public, and then let's say we have list of employees, so list of employees and get all employees. Okay, so we will have the return and from here we will be calling the service layer. So let's say we have any employee service, employee service dot get all employees, and this will be uh, there. So let's say we have a uh, private employee service, and then we have this one, and here on top of this we will have the annotation get mapping.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So in this, can you implement any operation with path variable?
Let's say we have the get employee by id. Okay, so in that case we can use path variable. So for example, we have public and then we have let's say we have response entity of employee, because we will have one object, one employee object will be returned, and then get employee by id. Okay, so here we can have the path variable, and let's say long id, and from here we can further call the service, uh, so return employee service dot get employee by id, and here we'll be passing id. So this one we can do like employee emp, and we can say return response entity dot ok, and we can also give put this in try catch block. So we can further give it in the try block. Okay, all this we can give it in try, and in catch block um, new response entity dot status. So let's say it is not found, so maybe 404 or something.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's so. What are the steps you will follow for that?
Yeah, for that, first of all, in properties or YAML file, we can give the complete information of both of the databases, like its URL, username, password, and its driver class. And then in the second step, we will have the configuration class, and that configuration class will have the uh, like uh, like entity manager. We will have the entity manager factory, and in there we will have the builder design pattern we will be using inside that, and we can build data source package and persistent unit. Using that we can build it, and we can prepare that for the second data source also we can do it. Then we will have the final manager class, transaction manager class, and in that we will be having the logic like which one we want to use when, and also we can annotate with the primary keyword with one of the database configuration, so that that will be the default one which will be used. So yeah, so these are the steps we need to follow for configuring the different data sources in the same project.
Okay, so what is caching in Spring Boot? Have you used it?
Yeah, caching in Spring Boot is a mechanism to store frequently accessed data temporarily to reduce the time required to fetch it repeatedly. So suppose any object is there and which is not getting changed very frequently, and we want to access it very frequently. In that case, we can use caching. So Spring Boot has various built-in annotations like at cacheable, at cache put, at cache evict. So all these are there. So I have worked with Redis. So at cacheable caches the result of the method, and at cache put that updates basically the cache without skipping the method execution, and cache evict if suppose we don't want that object anymore. So to now to remove those entries from the cache, we use cache evict. This is what is caching in Spring Boot.
Okay, what are the different type of bean scopes in Spring?
Different bean scopes. Yeah, it's a singleton, then prototype, uh, request, session, global session. So singleton is the default scope. So only one instance of the bean is created in the container for the entire application context in case of singleton. And prototype, a new instance is created each time the bean is requested from the container, and request and session are related to the HTTP request and HTTP session. And then we have a global session that is also similar to session, but it is used in a web applications with multiple pages or those kind of environments. So there it is used.
Okay. Okay, what is circuit breaker? Any idea?
Yeah, circuit breaker is a design pattern which is used in microservices. So that normally we use whenever the communication happens between the microservices. So suppose we have one microservice and for some reason it is not responding, or it is down for some time, or it is overloaded. So in that case, we write a circuit breaker design pattern. So I have used Hystrix for that. So in that usually we write a fallback method. So in fallback method we write like in case of suppose we are trying to access the another microservice. So if that is not reachable, so what steps we have to follow, or anything default we have to return, so that we can write in that method, and that accordingly we process. Yeah, so that is what is the circuit breaker design pattern in microservices.
Okay, do you see any disadvantages of using microservices?
Disadvantages can be of scenario based, so it is not like always it is the disadvantage, but yeah, in some situation it can be disadvantage. So one of the thing is like suppose if it is very a small application, and like one or two modules are only there, so in that case usually it is not required to make it microservice. So other things are like microservices usually increase the complexity in terms of deployment and communication. So we have to basically manage the multiple services, and we have to take care of the communication, how it is happening between them for all the different type of communication. Either it is synchronized, or either it is synchronous or asynchronous. We have to always monitor them. Then there are the chances in some cases there might be the network latency. Suppose when we are sending the request to different microservice, and that may get some time if that is deployed to somewhere, or it is overloaded, or there can be multiple regions. So that is again the second thing is there. And then also we may face like database m- related challenges, Like for example, we have to make sure that all the data between the different microservices are in sync. It should not be like if suppose one of the microservice is failed, then its data is like got updated with, let's say, some new entry, but the microservices which is down, there we are missing of like related objects of that entry. Okay, so we have to take care of this case also. For debugging also, we can say for debugging and monitoring, it is like not that easy. However, we can do it at a centralized place like ELK stack and all. So that can be done, but still, I mean, since we have different microservice deployed at different places, so it usually little bit of pain to do that. And again, for development and testing also, we can say like since while integrate doing the integration testing, we have to check with other microservices and dependencies if everything is working fine. These are the common challenges we can say. But yeah, these challenges are always not disadvantages. It can be more or like advantages when it is a very huge and complex application. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the different architectures you have used in microservices?
In microservices, I have used API gateway pattern is there, and whenever suppose any request comes, so that goes through the API gateway and all kind of authentication, authorization, logging, and everything we do there. And then we have circuit breaker design pattern, as I told earlier, like whenever suppose we are not able to reach any microservices or it is not reachable. Yeah, whenever we are not able to reach, in that case we can use a circuit breaker design pattern. And then we have a saga design pattern, so that we use usually in the distributed transactions in a microservices environment. So here each microservice performs like a part of transaction, and compensating transactions are used if a failure occurs. And then we have service discovery design pattern. So this automatically detects and registers service and their instances within a network. So that enables dynamic discovery and communication between services. So the one microservices, suppose if it is trying to call to another microservice, so it does not need to know the exact IP address of the another service, so that can be dynamically changed. And that usually improves the security of the uh, microservices. And also we can have multiple instances of that. And then uh, we have a proxy pattern as well. So like a proxy service acts as an intermediary for handling communication between clients and backend services. So that often provides functionality like caching, load balancing, and security checks and all. So yeah, so these are the design patterns I am aware of.
Okay,